Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 6 stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and somewhat pictured on your screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with the sensational 70s, 1970, 1971 Vancouver Canucks. Jeff, you've kicked us off into a new season and we haven't won a game yet. What's going on?
Well, we lost the opener, and then I just played one more because I wanted to get a few free agents signed, just to add a little more depth on the farm team, and we tied that one. So
I also
two games
realized
isn't a huge sample size.
I also just realized you didn't switch the logos,
What logos
the Canucks logos.
was I going to do that?
I don't know. You're still with the Canuck man instead of the hockey stick.
Oh yeah, it's alternate history, so we're sticking with the Johnny Canuck.
All right, fair enough. I'm okay with that. I like Johnny Canuck.
And let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, we had the injuries. Dan Maloney, who was our first round pick, I think. Yeah, first round pick this year. Minor injury, but Reggie Leach blew out his knee near the end of the exhibition season, and he's gone indefinitely. So that means Anders Hedberg gets it a look a little bit earlier, and is pointless in his first two games. Although actually he's got a 70 defensive game rating, 65 overall, so he's not done too badly.
He's doing his job.
And I don't think anything else. We kind of got cleaned out during the expansion draft. Our defensive depth on the lower end is basically gone. So I think we can, if we need to make, if we can find a deal for like a two-star defenseman sometime during this season, we may want to do that.
I'll take a peek right now.
But while you're doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and.
Is there anyone you're willing to give up? I guess maybe is the better.
The obvious one would be Claude LaRose, the third line left wing.
All right.
Or fourth line right wing. Where did I get third line left wing from? And we lose 6-1 to the Leafs. Wow, that's not great. And we've got back-to-back. And I just saw Dean Prentice, who we lost in the expansion draft, so I'm going to throw Gilles Gilbert in for this one. Dean Prentice, who we lost in the expansion draft, got his 300th goal for Kansas City. 9-3 with the backup in. Okay, this is not a great start to the season because we were supposed to be one of the contenders this year.
You should also take a look at your upcoming free agents. Just taking a quick peek here.
Yeah,
as we do, have some important guys
coming. Let's get him locked down right away. Yeah, he can have whatever he wants essentially. Best goalie in the league. I'll just slowly do these one at a time as we go through the season. Okay, if we can't actually. Edberg's doing reasonably well. Yeah, that bottom end of the D is just killing us. Hopefully we can get something against St. Louis. 3-3 tie. Looks like we tied it with the extra skater out. Yeah, René Robert, 11 seconds left. And he can now play center. Okay, Esposito signs his contract. Dan Maloney's almost back. And getting that extra winger back. Let's see what happens when I shop LaRose. Do I get a decent defenseman offered? Bill Spear, 1-star. Nope. Ryan Perry, center. Rivard, center. Morris Mott, winger, but no, he's only 1-star. Larry Lund from Penticton. Nope. Jean Gendron, who used to be okay, but is 36 years old now. Gary Coteau played a little more for Kansas City, the real Kansas City in '74, but not that good right now. Right wing, center. I'm getting the impression that defensemen are in short supply around the league. We're getting no offers at all. Do you find anybody that?
I'm trying to see if I can get a reply on something. So I'll let you know if I get an answer here.
Okay, we got Pittsburgh. Come on, we got to get a win here. This isn't good. Lose 2-1 to Pittsburgh. And they had their backup in.
I'm trying to pull a very Sam Pollock trade for you.
Okay, 0-4-2. And Rene Robert is hurt because, of course, he is day-to-day sword groin. He goes into Hextall's slot. Or Hextall goes into his slot, and then throw Battleship Kelly in for one game. Finally, 6-3 win against Detroit. And neither Robert nor Maloney are ready to come back yet. And we got Chicago, so I'm just going to throw Gilbert in this one because I don't think we've got much of a chance here. Yeah, 7-2 loss. That D is killing us. I'm wondering if we maybe need to move somebody a little higher up the roster.
I'm still working on it.
I'm just going to try shopping Johnny McKenzie while you're doing that to see if I get any offers at the next level. Bill Flett from Kansas City, but he's a winger. Dwayne Rupp. 2-star defenseman, 32 years old. And he was really starting to decline. Or no, this is 1970, so I think he still had a couple of years in him at that point in real life. Rick Foley, 1.5 stars. Yeah. 37-year-old Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame defenseman Harry Howell. 2.5 stars. Oh, and okay, didn't we have Brian Glennie, 1.5 stars right now, 2-star potential? I could have sworn we had. Yeah, we had him, and what happened? What did we do with him? Oh, we traded him for Alex Delvecchio.
That was the deadline move, was it not?
Yeah, who is retired by now, I think. But I think we need the help immediately, so I'm thinking about, McKenzie's 32, so it's not like we're giving up a young guy. Where was it? I'm thinking about taking Harry Howell because he's 2.5 stars. That should sort of stabilize our D immediately. And I think he's got about 3 years left of him at this point, even though he's 37.
Sounds about right.
Okay, I hope that works. Howell and McKenzie out. Is almost back. Maloney is back. And we dress one more winger. Oh, I got a couple of days off. He may recover.
All right, sorry. Who did you trade?
Johnny McKenzie for Harry Howell.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, and Rene Robert is healthy again, so he can come in and... who's going out? Oh, Dennis Hextall, now he finally got some playing time, quickly hit 2 stars.
All right. I do have a trade for you.
Which is?
So, as you might remember, we didn't re-sign Veli-Pekka Katola.
Yeah.
So Oakland actually has Andre Dupont as an upcoming free agent. 2 stars, 2.5-star potential. 21 years old, defenseman.
DuPont, yeah.
Yeah. So it was Catola, our second-round draft pick in 1973, along with Claude LaRose and Doug Vollmer.
I'm going to have to do somebody other than LaRose because I don't want to lose the winger. I'll try one of our defensemen.
They need help on everything, so you might be able to get away with that. I tried to get move somebody else. You might be able to move one of the goalies, actually. It'd be worthwhile checking.
Try moving that. Wait, no. Try moving defense. No, I'll try Quinn. And we blow out St. Louis 7-1 with their first game with Howell in, and Dennis Hextall, who's suddenly developing, has 3 points. And
nice.
Yeah, Oakland said no way to that deal.
Yeah, so you had, yeah, I messed around with it a lot. I needed to get them to say that they would probably accept it, or our scouts say they'd probably accept it for. Well, that says they'll probably accept that offer. Maybe they'll take that as it is.
Try throwing Billy Heindel.
No, don't throw anybody else in.
Okay.
Also, I put in the 73 pick, not the 71.
Oh, well.
But
see if it goes through. Boston beats us 4-3.
My reasoning was because 73, there should be more guys flooding the draft, right? And so we could probably get some decent free agent signings if we're lucky. I forgot to check until now, Jeff, but apparently we are not on Steam, though. It didn't work.
Didn't go through. It's funny. It tested fine when I did the test stream.
Yeah, so.
Weird.
Not sure.
I know it seems to have a mind of its own. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. 6-1 win against Minnesota, so I think we're turning this around. Dave the Hammer Schultz, 2 goals and an assist.
All right.
And you were right. Oakland did accept that. Volmar, second rounder in 71, and Catola's rights for DuPont. So there, we fixed our D.
And we didn't have to give up anybody else. I said that was a very Sam Pollock trade. We send you half of our team.
Yeah. Well, I get some depth out of it. Okay, Gravich out, DuPont in. Okay, now we're a contender, I think. Again, hopefully. Find out right now because we're playing Montreal. And they beat us 4-1. Yeah. Back to back against the Flyers. See if Gilbert can finally get a win. Nothing tie.
That's interesting.
We outshot them 35-18. And somebody's hurt. Jerry Korab now, day-to-day with a sore hip. So Ravlich goes back in for him. And we got Colorado with Esposito in goal. This should be a win. 6-3 to the second-year team now.
Colorado? No, they've been around for more than two.
I thought we just put them in last year, or maybe it's 2 years ago then. No, they're
I
actually
think
first place in the division.
I think this is their third year at least. Because their rookie season, they beat you up in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, right. And we won a playoff round last year, so it was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
Development report. Ferguson continues to go downhill, but a lot of the other guys are improving. Okay, we got Colorado again. Let's see if we can improve that this time. 2-2 tie. And we got outshot though. So I'm curious as to how Colorado's gotten that good that quickly. Goalies kind of mediocre. A little bit of defensive depth, nothing special. Mark Tardif's their best offensive player. And not a whole lot other than that. Scoring for him. Ted Harris is leading in scoring, like a defenseman who wasn't really a big scorer. This
Pulling it down.
Mostly luck. We can catch them.
So, Jeff, what did you think of the big hockey news today?
Which one?
Well, let's start off by talking about the new hiring of a new head coach.
Yeah, Lindy Ruff. Well, I guess he's a coach.
You know, I always liked Lindy Ruff in Buffalo. Dallas, I don't think he got as much out of that team as he probably could have. And so that's a little worrisome, but...
Oh, Montreal just waived Charlie Hodge. He's 37 years old, but he's would make a much better backup than...
Yeah, that's kind of hard to say no to.
Yeah, 3.5 stars.
Even he could be a trade deadline piece anyways.
Let's see if we get him. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else grabs him first.
Also possible. You could probably send him to Oakland and get your pick back, as well as probably their first.
Well, we got Hodge.
All right. Disappointing for Jose Bear.
Well, considering he's 0-2 in 3 starts and 4.82 goals against average, I think he's going to need a little more time.
Fair enough. Yeah, the rough news was interesting for New Jersey New Jersey hiring him. Them keeping Tom Fitzgerald was also a bit of a surprise, I think, but not a bad one.
Yeah, just curious to see who
I
Montreal.
just kind of paid his...
Oh, here's why they waived Hodge. Ken Dryden's finally ready for them, and Rogie Vachon's a starter, so they got 2 potential 5-star goalies there.
Fair enough.
They'll happily take the 3rd stringer, and I think I'll give them a start tonight against Chicago. And he comes up with a 4-3 win against the Hawks. Pretty good. I actually sat next to Charlie Hodge once at a junior game back in, I think it was like the early 90s. He was scouting for Pittsburgh. Nice guy. Complained the whole time about the wooden seats in the old Kelowna Arena, though.
Yeah,
And
that's...
4-2 loss against Toronto. I mean, the man was in the 60s at the time, so I guess I can kind of understand that. They weren't terribly comfortable. Time against Minnesota.
But there's something so special about those wooden bleachers. Brings you back.
Yeah, wooden benches. The terrifying, the seats, I didn't mind the benches so much. What I didn't like was they had those overhead heaters
Oh, yeah.
that sort of hang there and glow red hot, and that's what was keeping you warm.
Yeah.
So I always figured one of those days they were just held up by this really shaky looking wiring.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we've talked on stream before about the old Winnipeg Arena and how if you remember, the old Winnipeg Arena was literally built on and they just kept building on as they wanted to add more seats. And I mean, that was people talk about it with nostalgia, but it was a terrible arena. I mean, you had one side that, basically you entered at ice level and had to walk up. If you were sitting at the top, you had to walk up about 120 flights of stairs to finally get up.
The concourses were super narrow too and crowded. I remember that.
Yes.
The game I went there. Wow, 11-5 win against Pittsburgh. Gila Point, 5-goal game as a defenseman.
Nicely done.
That is a record, I believe.
One of the things I will never forget, though, is you talk about like those heaters, is the the upper deck in the old Winnipeg Arena was literally, basically, they bolted it onto the roof, both sides. And I was there about a year before it closed at a concert because they didn't have it open for hockey, or rarely had it open for hockey anymore. And at the concert, I remember the whole thing was swaying back and forth. And all I could think was, yeah, this feels real safe.
Nice. And yeah, just confirming that's record for goals by defenseman, points by defenseman actually ties the... Actually, no, it shouldn't have been tying that record. I don't know why we didn't get the... We should have had the real NHL record at the start of this, which would have been 6 goals. I'm not sure why it isn't in there. I have to take a look at why it did that.
Who had that record? Who has that record?
Red Berenson had it once. Sittler had it in the 10-point game, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a couple old, like, 30s, 20s and 30s, I think. Joe Malone, maybe.
Let me just go...
And right back
so we started this
3-1
game,
loss against Boston.
I'm trying to remember 1960.
Yeah, so the Berenson one wouldn't be in there, but there were previous ones to that.
Yeah, Joe Malone, New Zealand. Corb Dennehy, Cy Dennehy.
Yeah, all from the 20s.
Sid Howe. Red Berenson was 1968, so yeah, that wouldn't have been in.
Wouldn't have been in. But the older one should have been. I'm not sure why that got missed.
That's good. Gives you something to do after the stream, Jeff.
There we go. Yeah, like I didn't have enough to do already.
Why? Are you working on something? I'm not sure.
Yep. Coming along. Okay, Hodge in against the Blues. And he gets another one. Another shutout, 4-0. So I'm not sure what's going on. What's Esposito's numbers this year? 329 goals against average, 894 save percentage. Meanwhile, Hodge has had 2 shutouts in the 3 games we played him in since we picked him up.
Okay, see, I'm
looking at
the records.nhl.com at these skaters, and it's fun trying to remember what the exact team names were for some of the initials. Like Joe Malone has a record for 7 goals with the Quebec Bulldogs versus the TSP.
Toronto St. Patrick's.
Well, yeah, so that one was easy enough. And then you see Ham, and you're like, okay, well, Hamilton.
Yep.
But I got to Tan, and I couldn't figure out who Tan was, so I had to look.
Toronto Arenas.
Yep.
Okay, Esposito finally lost a game, so we're going to... Or Hodge finally lost a game, so we're going to put Esposito back in against the Hawks. And a narrow 4-3 loss. Let me take a quick look at how the new guys are doing. And I might as well look at all of our scoring. Red Berenson, just talking about him, having another good year. Gila Point, thanks to that one great game, is right up there in scoring too. Andre Lacroix doing well. Hedberg, 15 points in 25 games so far this season. Not bad for a 1.5-star guy.
He's not playing huge minutes either, right?
No, like 3rd line. Steady, but not a lot. Harry Howell looking pretty good so far. What's DuPont done? Yeah, not too bad. Ferguson on the first line? I don't think so. Oh, actually, since we traded Mackenzie, Hedberg's actually moved up to the second line, so that's why he's getting some points, but he's doing okay with it, I guess. And now Andre DePontcert. Bruised thigh day-to-day, so I think that means, yeah, Quinn comes back up. And Hawks are playing their backup against us, and we wound up with a 4-3 win. Under Lacroix, 3 assists. Chicago isn't doing that great this year, are they? Well, they're a little ahead of us, but definitely not dominating the division like they did the last few seasons. And they are the defending cup champions, so you would expect them to be doing a little better than that. Although maybe
there's got to be a bounce.
Yeah, see, I think it's a pretty good sign that we may have made the expansion draft a little too generous when Kansas City is leading the division right now. Oops.
Love it.
What was the other? Was Buffalo the other team we had? Yeah.
Yes, but they're not doing near as well.
Yeah, they're dead last in the league. So what is Kansas City got that's got them doing so well? I mean, obviously they got Dion in the draft, which helped. Yeah, and he's leading them in points right now. And Del Vecchio didn't retire. They got him from us, and he's their number 2 scorer now. Oh, and they somehow wound up with Paul Henderson too.
Henderson
scores for Canada. Barkley played from us. Derek Sanderson, he never seems to have worked out. He has 2.5 stars. He should be a little better than that. Okay, Flyers up next. Give Hodge the start. He's still red hot, despite losing that one game, and 4-2 win. Still liking our chances this year, even if we got off to the rough start. Uh, 5-3 loss to the Kings. I don't know what's going on with Esposito this year. He just can't win.
Well, you probably shook his confidence by bringing in Hodge.
Oh, man's 37 years old. You know how much of a threat he expects him to be.
Enough of one, apparently.
Just signing a couple of renewals here. What does Howell want to renew, even though he's ancient? Oh, he only wants a 1-year deal. That's fine with me. Go back to Hodge and goal for the other half of the back-to-back. And he gets a 2-2 tie. Brewer and Howell both signed. Bobby Orr, not surprisingly, player of the month. Looks like he's healthy again. Development, Howell took a bit of hit on the development report. Ferguson's still declining. Hedberg's still moving up. Did he get? Nope, he doesn't have 2 stars yet. Oh, Rene Robert's up to 2.5 stars. Where did I have? Oh, he's on the second line. That's fine. And Esposito finally gets a shutout. 3-0 against Minnesota.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Andre DuPont back, and I think we've got a Fort Confidence update there to take a look at. Dave Schultz willing to renew cheaply. Season's proceeded promisingly so far. Well, I wouldn't use that word, but happy with the last performance in the last few weeks, and looks like we're still in good shape. Gonna take a quick look at the job security screen. Yeah, we're green. Team chemistry is okay.
Games under 500. That seems about right for Vancouver.
Yeah. You see, they had the Jets Canucks series. I can't remember which year it was on TSN the other night.
I can't say I did. You mean Sportsnet, though? I don't think it'd be on TSN.
Sportsnet, yeah, Sportsnet, running the old replays. Don't really have to ask how it went because we remember how all the Canucks Jets playoff series went, right?
Winnipeg winning all of them. Yeah.
If by all you mean none, yes. And another 5-3 win for Esposito. Dave Schultz with 3 assists. Andre Lacroix got hurt. Please, nothing bad. Sprained acro something clavicular joint. I'm assuming that's neck or shoulder. Clavicle. So he's gone for a couple of months potentially. Which is going to mean Maloney gets back to the lineup. We'll have to juggle the lines. I don't think I want Hampson as number 1. We'll try Robert up there. Hampson is the 2. Oh, good God. Why do... Oh, man. Forwards are suddenly looking kind of thin. We got any progress on Leach's injury? Still showing indefinite. I think we may have lost him for the year.
That's disappointing.
Somebody needs to step up right now and replace Lacroix, though. So hopefully it's Robert. And Esposito a 3-0 shutout against Oakland. Better. We almost back to... We are back at 500. 4th place in the division, gradually clawing our way back into this. Only 2 points back of Chicago. And Kansas City inexplicably is still on top. I'm going to give Hodge the start against his old team, Montreal. Hopefully he's motivated. 1-1 tie, I'll take it. And Jerry Korab did something, got himself suspended. But not a problem because Dave Dunn is healthy again. Oh, DuPont is healthy too, so actually let's just take Quinn out, dress DuPont, and redo the lines. That'll make sense. And Colorado up next. Try Esposito on goal against them. 4-1 win. Andrew said gets a couple of points.
You just need to leave Esposito in for like 10 games.
Yeah, but Hodge is still hot, though. I don't want him to cool off too much.
Or might get Esposito playing and just winning all the games.
I am going to play him against Kansas City, though, because these guys shouldn't be winning as much as they are. 4-2 win. There we go. Put them in their place. But that's back-to-back, and the Rangers the next night, so Hodge can see them. And he comes up with a 4-1 win. Oh, a bit of a roll here. Okay, Jerry Korab is unsuspended.
Unsuspended.
Well, suspension has ended.
Unsuspension. Interesting.
Desuspended?
That sounds worse.
And expansion Buffalo. I think we can give Esposito the easy win here. And he somehow blows it with a 3-1 loss. Try him again against Detroit. 3-3 tie. I'm not sure about your start Esposito all the time plan.
It's because you cooled them off too much.
He's still red hot. One more time against the Bruins. 6-3 win. Okay, there we go. It was worth it that time. Now, does this count? Was Bobby Orr hurt? No, Bobby Orr was in for him.
I think it counts regardless.
Not a great game out of him. 67 game rating. Steve Atkinson, of all people, with a 5-game goal-scoring streak for Kansas City. Averaging better than a point per game. Wow. Okay, Esposito against the Flyers. 3-3 tie. Henri Richard gets his 900th point, and I will start Hodge against the Kings. And he finally has a bad game and loses 5-2. And we are almost up to the beginning of 1971, and we are now in 3rd place in the division. And the Hawks have slipped back to 5th out of a playoff spot.
Makes all the difference when we can keep pushing.
I think they'll turn that around, but I don't know that... well, Kansas City doesn't look like they're going to fall that far. Or in the Bruins are leading the league. And we should get our poll results. Yet there they are. Toughest player in the league, Dave Schultz, Vancouver Canucks.
All right.
Who's actually on track for a couple hundred penalty minutes this year, too. And Charlie Hodge named the toughest goalie to beat. That's a bit of a surprise. 3.5 stars. There's better goalies in the league. I'm surprised he would get that one. But no other players from us mentioned. Take a quick look at our player stats at the start of the new year. Yeah, Berenson's still having a big year. A point up there as well. Connolly doing well. Hedberg, 24 points in 41 games. Solid rookie season. Carl Brewer, yeah, Dennis Hextall has finally come through. 2 goals, 20 assists. I'm not doing a lot of scoring, but still, I'll take it. Oh, we still got players to re-sign too, don't we? DuPont, definitely. And he'll do it cheaply, that's good news. Kelly and... what does Ferguson want? Oh wow, Ferguson willing to take a massive pay cut to stay in Vancouver. Fine by me. He's down to 1.5 stars, but I mean, he was asking basically for minimum wage, and it's good enough to keep him around his depth for a while. And Montreal beats us 4-2. Oh, I should have started Hodge against them. That was Chaco Perrier out. Ooh, okay, Hodge is sitting downhill on the latest development report. Oh, Carl Brewer lost a couple of points. That's a little worrying. And not really a lot of important guys getting improvements. Oh, and Hedberg's hurt now. Bruised hand day to day. Might be back in time for the next game because we've got a few days off here. Owner's still happy with us. got the Leafs, so Hedberg's out. Kelly is in. Try Schultz on the right side. Why not? And we'll give Hodge a start against Toronto. And he bounces back with a 3-0 shutout after that previous loss. And Hedberg is almost ready to come back. Give Esposito the start against Colorado. 8-0 win. Nice. 4 points for René Robert and a shutout for Esposito. And Andrews Hedberg is healthy again. So we're now only 2 points back of LA for second place in the division. Colorado was, I think weren't they first at one point? Collapsed all the way down to last. And Buffalo was...
Yeah, they were up there.
Kind of improving too. They're still last in the league, but tied with 3 other teams now. Instead of being well back like they were before, so kind of coming together for the other expansion team. And Kelly out, Hedberg in, reshuffle the lines. That works. Esposito in against Oakland. And another shutout. How many shutouts we had this year? We're getting a bunch of them lately. Esposito has 4 this year. Hodge has 3. So 7 shutouts from the first 45 games.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
And Red Berenson with 4 assists in that shutout. Minor deal between Pittsburgh and Oakland. Are we coming up? When is the deadline? Oh, no ways out yet. March 1st, we're only in January. Let Hodge start against the Kings, see what he does. 4-2 loss. Yeah. Put Esposito in against Oakland and 3-2 win. Where are the injured guys coming along? Oh, there we go. We finally got an update on Leach. 2 to 3 months out yet. Maybe
So he
by
will
the
be
end
gone
of
for most of the season.
Well, might get him back at the very end, but don't know how much we want to play a 1.5-star winger at the down the stretch. But better news, Andre Lacroix is only a week or 2 away. Hodge gets the second game against Oakland and wins that 1-5-3.
You remember what happened in my game when somebody was 1 or 2 weeks away?
Oh, yeah. Well, they were 1 or 2 weeks away for, what, about a month?
Oh, it was 1 to 2 weeks and then was done for the year. So just be careful how much you celebrate there. Apparently the weights crushing him was not a good thing. Although I do wonder what rehab was like back in the 1970s.
I know about rehab, but I mean, I've heard some of the stories about Bobby Orr's knee surgeries. And that's not something I would want to go through.
I've seen guys who had their knee surgeries in the 70s. It was not a pretty thing. But I just mean, like, in terms of what they do for rehab now versus back then, I'm sure would be utterly shocking.
Oh, wow, Tobe Blake, who's still coaching Canadians, is maybe finally on the way out. How old is he at this point? He's only 58. Is that? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Colorado, last place Colorado, and Esposito gets the start against them and manages to lose 2-1. Brian Hextall, Dennis's brother, 2 points for the Rockies.
Who we did have at one time, I believe.
Briefly, yeah. I don't think he ever really developed. Esposito against the Wings, and it's a 5-2 win. So another smallish deal between the Leafs and the Penguins. And we're down to, well, LA's got a couple of games in hand, but we're within a single point of them, and we're also catching up with Kansas City, who's only 5 points or 4 points in front of us now. And the Hawks continue to be out of the playoffs. Expansion Sabres will give Hodge a start against these guys. And he loses 4-2. Come on. Not convincing me to give Hodge more playing time, although he gets... no, it's Montreal. I'm going to give Esposito the start here. 6-4 loss. Might as well have put Hodge in. Hodge against Pittsburgh. We lose this, I'm going to have to, 3-2, have to shuffle the lines a little bit. I don't like the way this is going.
Put Hodge on the fourth line and Esposito in net.
That doesn't seem like a good idea. Should take a look at Victoria, see how many, if we've got anybody developing reasonably well. That does give us an extra goalie. I'm just going to shop Andy Brown to see if we get any players back. I'd rather get a little more depth, but nothing interesting for Victoria. And the Kings offer us a 31-year-old one-star defenseman, so why not? Ted Lanyon. And I will send him down right away. And there we go. Oakland fires this coach, Billy Ray, and brings in Fred Shiro as the coach.
Laying down the law.
And Andre Lacroix is almost back. We'll have to see how the Seals do under Shiro. Quiet development report. Nobody went downhill, fortunately, and Hedberg 3 points of improvement again, but still doesn't have a second star. And the owner is still happy with us. Contract renewals. Ted Hampson declining, but still at 2.5 stars and only wants 1 year deal, so that is fine. And Claude LaRose, who's actually had a decent season after we nearly dumped him at the start of the year. That's reasonable. And I think that's all our renewals for the Canucks, the NHL Canucks at least. The minor league Canucks have, Leach is due for 1-2, I guess. Maybe we can get it cheaply, reasonably cheaply, since he's injured. And the only other expiring guys are a couple of minor league defensemen. I'll keep Marin. depth's sake, but I think Price can go because it looks like he's done. And within a month of the trading deadline, everybody signs their new deals. Very nice. Lacroix is only day-to-day now. His shoulder.
Finally getting closer.
Yep. Esposito in against the expansion Sabres and comes up with a 3-1 win. Orland Kurtenbach, our former captain or assistant captain, can't remember which, has a point for the Sabres. And Hodge will get the start against the Wings. Comes up with a 2-1 win, so we're winning a little more consistently now. Gordie Howe hits 1,000 assists and did it in that game against us.
Interesting.
6 points back of KC and 2 points back of the Kings. And Chicago is finally coming on. They're only 3 points back of us. We've got the best goal differential in the division. But Boston has Boston way out in front in the league and in the Eastern Division. That must be mostly Orr. Yeah, Orr, and then Ron Schock, John Pronovo, so a couple of guys who were Penguins in real life. And Johnny Busick, Goldsworth. Yeah, they've retained a lot of the guys they lost to the expansion teams in real life. Somehow picked Ron Ellis up at some point. And Bernie Perrant and Eddie Johnston go, yeah, Perrant is having a great year. Chat question from Gudo. Any FHM7 info being released this month? Not sure yet. May have some FHM6 news coming later in the month, though. Not quite done with that one yet, I don't think. And a 4-2 loss to the Rangers. I'll start Esposito again. Oh, that's Hodge against the Stars, who beat us 2-1. Oh, come on. Consistency, people. And finally, Lacroix is back. Oops, didn't I do that? But did he need a contract renewal? Yes, he did. So, who's coming out here for the forwards? Probably Ferguson. Looks like he's slowed down quite a bit. Tryon Hextall on the left wing. I'm not sure about that. We'll give it a shot. Lacroix signs his extension, and Esposito in against Colorado. 2-2 tie. Gonna give him another shot against Colorado in the next game. Oh no, Hodge is in 3-3 tie. And another interesting waiver claim. Who is it? Bruce Campbell from Kansas City. Only 2 stars. So I won't bother with that.
Interesting.
Nah. Gordie Howe re-signs with the Wings. There's not going to be a WHA, but he wouldn't be going there anyway. And it's only a 1-year extension, though. Blues up next. 5-4 win. And yeah, that race is really tightening up at the top of the division. LA is now tied with Kansas City, and we're only 2 points back. Let's see if we can get first before we finish this up tonight.
Hard.
Bobby Clark suspended for 5 games from the Kings. Blues again. Esposito in net again. And another 5-2 win. And Kansas City just lost Barry Ashby, one of their best defensemen for quite a while, I think. Although I guess they had a couple of games in there because they're now 5 points ahead of us. Six months. So that should slow them down a little bit. And we're about a week out from the trading deadline, so I think I'll get just up to that, and then we'll wind it up here for tonight and come back next week and decide, or 2 weeks, and decide what we're going to do at the deadline. 3-1 win against Minnesota, and let's do one more against Oakland. Start Esposito again, and we lose that one 2-1. Don't want to end on a losing note. Although we're almost up to the trading deadline. Fairly big deal, Rangers and Sabres. Bill Fairbairn going from the Rangers to Buffalo, and Rosario Paymont and Roy Edwards headed back to the Rangers. Oh, Montreal trades J.C. Tremblay. Sends him to the Rangers, for Silaps. Silaps Jr. The Rangers making a bunch of moves, and hopefully we can get a win against LA here. But no, 5-4 loss. Okay, one more. Last chance. Oh, great. Now somebody's hurt. Red Berenson, don't be serious. Just a stinger. Nothing too bad.
Oh, you're going to get guys getting hurt.
Okay, and against Kansas City, I'll give Hodge a start. Just hoping he does it, and he does. 3-2 win. Okay, there we go. Can go out on a losing or a winning note, rather. And that leaves us tied with the Kings for second place. They've got a game in hand, though. 5 points back at Kansas City. That's going to be tough to close that gap before the end of the season. And the Hawks are pushing us. They're only 2 points back and 3 games in hand. And it drops off after that, so it looks like it'll be the us, LA, Kansas City, and then Chicago in the playoffs. And we'll be fighting for home advantage there. That's going to be tough. Boston way out in front in the other division. Rangers, yeah, it's all the original 6 teams except for Detroit. They're top 4 on the other side. Stats-wise, Bobby Hull leading the league in scoring again, but Bobby Orr right behind him. Yeah, having a healthy season definitely helps for Orr. And this is, yeah, it's 70-71, so that's his big season in real life too. any of our guys. So Red Berenson in the goal leaders. And point leaders as well, 81 points. He might have an outside shot at 100 this year. And Dave Schultz has a chance at the being the penalty minute leader.
Gudu adds in the chat, he finally was able to get Connor McDavid away from Edmonton.
Yeah, 34. He's probably got a few good years left in him yet.
Yeah, where did you get him to?
Okay, just taking a quick look at our stats for the season. Dennis Hextall stole that crazy stat line, 5 goals, 33 assists. I mean, I definitely didn't expect 38 points out of him this year, and with time to go. Hedberg continuing that steady rookie year. Rene Robert producing nicely now. Hampson's declined a bit. Ouch, 2 years, $24 million for McDavid, Gudu. That's pricey. I really wish Korav would start developing. He's got another full star he can get. Howell holding steady his age, by game rating. Yeah, Lapointe has just easily been our MVP this year. Okay, well, do you want to wind it up there, Adam?
Yeah, no, Gudu finally said he got him with the Hawks. So.
Yeah.
Interesting to beef up the Central Division more. All right, so thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager 6 stream. We typically stream, well, for the summer at least, we've decided to switch to Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. That's 7 p.m. Eastern. You can also reach out.
I was going to say, it seems to fit a little bit better into everybody's schedules at the moment, so we seem to get a bit of slightly bigger crowd now, so we'll stick with that for a little while.
We might change back in the fall or as hockey returns, I guess. You never know. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/franchise hockey manager. On Twitter, we're at franchise hockey. We can also find a link to our official Discord. You, of course, are more than welcome to come on down to our official website, which is otpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to our official forums, where you can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, or anything else you'd like to talk about. I don't think I mentioned this either because I got a little bit off track, but all of our videos, of course, are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTPdevelopments, where you can come catch up on the 1960s and 70s Vancouver Canucks, or maybe on my stream, which is the Minnesota Wild, a little bit into the future, or any of our other mini streams going back. And I can't believe this, Jeff, but over 5 years worth of streams are on there now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long, does it?
No, not at all.
Back to FHM2, I think we started with, didn't we? Yeah.
We did, yes.
Okay, well, I think we'll wind it up here. Be back next week with Adams. And if you're looking to buy the game, I think we're sort of in... we're dropping the price to $19.99 permanently now. It was just on sale in the Steam sale, if you didn't catch that, but we're going to be dropping it permanently. It's kind of stuck in Steam's approval process right now. They have to sign off on all the price changes. So it should be showing up there shortly, and I think you can already get the standalone version for the reduced price. But just keep an eye on that on Steam if you're looking to buy the game, because it will be dropping in price very quickly, I think, hopefully tomorrow. So thanks for coming out, and we will see everybody back here at the same time next week.